Hey everyone, Michael Kunman coming to you today with a video just in time for the Open, which is how to hit your golf ball lower. This is going to be good. If anyone's watched the Scottish Open, they could see there was a lot of wind in that, and all those tour professionals needed to know how to flight their golf ball, especially how to hit that golf ball lower. So we're going to go through some details today, so stick around. We'll be right up with it. So thank you very much for tuning in. For those of you who are subscribers, welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are not, if you enjoy this content, please, I would love you to hit that like button and also subscribe to our channel to keep up to date with all the latest tips and information in the golfing industry. And I hope you enjoy this video if it is your first time. But as I was saying at the start, we're going to get into how to hit your golf ball lower. So myself, I spent a lot of time at a golf course called the Links Kennedy Bay, which is down south here in Perth. It is actually just undergoing renovations, but for those of you who haven't played it, or if those of you who are looking for a trip over to Perth for a golf trip, I would definitely recommend it, especially when it's all back up and running. One of the most amazing courses, but being right on the coastline and being a true links golf course, what you'll find there is you need to understand how to hit your golf ball higher and lower predominantly in those rough conditions. We're here in Perth, which gets super windy. I was able to develop a way and a strategy and basically a technique to try and get that golf ball lower quite consistently, which helped me play around that golf course year round. So first and foremost, what we need to realize is how, or basically the fundamentals of lowering our golf ball. So if we want to lower a golf shot, we've got a couple of different ways to do that. One is by basically decreasing our loft. It's super important that we understand that a loft is on a golf club. So I've got in my hand right now an 8-iron. My 8-iron goes X amount of height in the air and I want to lower it. So basically I've got loft on this. To strike a golf ball and to hit it lower, I need to produce less loft to get that golf ball traveling on a lower trajectory. Quite simple, but it's harder than you think to bring it into practice if you don't have your setup and your mentality of what you're trying to do correct. Secondary to that is this can come and go, so we don't have to do this part. We can hit a golf ball pretty much at full speed and still hit a nice kind of penetrating ball flight. But for those of you out there who haven't done this much, generally hitting a shot on a shorter, more abbreviated motion, so it's going to produce a little bit less speed and a little bit less spin, we're going to lower our golf shot as well. So we're going to try and combine those two there. We're going to produce less lofted impact, and we're also going to do a shorter, more abbreviated golf swing, and that's going to get our golf ball flying a lot lower, and those tricky shots into the wind are going to become much easier. So let's say, for instance sakes, I'm setting up with my standard 8-iron. I'm going to get an alignment stick on the ground here, and you're going to notice that if I've got my 8-iron in hand and I'm setting up, my golf ball is pretty much about a club head width inside of my lead heel. To me, that's a pretty stock position. Some people will be a little bit further back, some people, not many, will be a little bit further forward. Again, wherever you are from your stock position, what we want to try and do is, of course, we want to bring that back. So right now, I'm just going to hit a shot, and I'm going to give you an idea of how high my golf ball goes with an 8-iron. So I've hit my shot, jumps up in the air there. Let's bring up our height. So we've got 27.5 meters in height. Again, don't base that on anything. You don't have to hit it at 27.5 meters, and I'm not trying to hit it higher or lower at the moment. That's just a pretty stock shot for me. I'm pretty happy with that. Traveled about a similar distance I would normally hit my 8-iron, so I can kind of base my, my details and the rest of this session on that 27.5 meters. So as we were mentioning at the start, two factors: providing less loft and reducing our swing speed by shortening our golf swing. So what we're going to do is, instead of setting up with our golf ball inside of our lead heel, I'm actually going to get you to put it all the way back inside of your trail heel. And this is going to feel very foreign for a lot of people. Some people do set up with the golf ball backwards, so you're probably thinking, oh, this is pretty standard for me. But for those people, you may need to work on ball position in general. So we're going to set up and we're going to get our golf ball inside about a club head width. Now this is where it gets a little bit different. Now instead of setting up, taking our grip and having our golf ball in the back of our stance and then just pressing our hands forward, which keeps our grip the same, I'm going to get you to make a stronger grip. Now the reason why I want you to make a stronger grip is because when we set up with our golf ball back in our stance, because our swing works in an arcing fashion, the golf club is going to tend to work a little bit more in to out than what it naturally would for whatever your golf swing is. And with that being the case, if we have a neutral grip, your stock grip, whatever that is, and our club is working more in to out than normal, what's going to happen is our club face is going to be a little bit more open. And yes, we may hit a little bit lower, but we're going to probably hit it to the right of our target for a right-handed golfer, which is not what we're going to want. We want to try and get that club face to square itself up to get our golf ball to go back onto target. Super important. So when we do this, we take our setup, we get our golf ball back, we push our shaft forward. Normally I like to work on the inside of the left hip or the lead hip. Then we take our grip and keep our club face pointing towards the target. Super important. We're not closing, we're not opening it. Now from here, if I just go back to my natural setup or my natural kind of club face straight up and down, my grip is actually a lot stronger than what it was normally, which is perfect. That's going to get us squaring our club face up. So we've got our golf ball on the inside of our right foot. We've got our hands pressed forward. We've taken our grip, which is stronger. Now the golf swing is abbreviated. Now what do I mean by abbreviated? We're going to go shorter backswing, shorter follow through. Practice swings are important because most people that I teach, I say, I want you to do a short follow through. This is what their short follow through looks like. And in their mind, that's exactly what they've done. They've done a shorter follow through, but I need you to really focus on this. So we get our setup, we do a half to 3/4 backswing. I want you to try and finish with your arms relatively parallel to the ground for now. We can go longer, it's not a problem. We can hit lower shots with a longer follow through, it's fine. But for the point of this drill, I want you to try and keep it fairly structured. So we do our practice swings. Might just move this alignment stick back a little bit. Back, we abbreviate our follow through, and let's have a look and see how much lower this shot goes than my last one. So 27.5 meters was my last one. Did catch that probably a little bit thin, but now if I take off a few of these points, the one thing you are going to notice is that height has gone down to 10.6 meters. 10.6 meters. Carry, gone down a little bit to 111, total's 124. Still pretty good. I was 133, 136, I believe, on the other one before. But I've dropped 17 meters in height, and that is just perfect. I am super happy with that, and we're going to get into it. We're going to try another shot. So, ball position back, hands forward. We're going to take our grip. It's a lot stronger than what it was before. Short backswing, short follow through. Let's see what we got. That's a better strike. Peak height, 19.2 meters. The first one I hit, which I told you about, was a little bit thin, so it wasn't a perfect strike. Didn't get as airborne as probably what I would have liked, but again, we still hit that 10-meter shot height, and it still carried and traveled a nice distance. So if we're hitting into a wind, it's still going to be pretty good. I want you to look at these numbers here. Carry 133, total 140, with a peak height of 8 meters less than what we were doing into the wind before. So automatically there, we are going to hit a much better shot, or a more consistent shot into the wind. It's not necessarily going to carry and travel that far because the wind's going to influence it, but because we're going to be taking more club than we normally would, it's going to be a much better golf shot. And as you can see, with my stronger grip, my shot's actually quite straight, which is awesome. It's not a huge kind of hooky shot, it's not a big slicing shot, and it's definitely not a shot that leaks directly right, which it probably would if I kept my grip the same. So we've got a couple little checkpoints there. First, let's move that ball position back. Secondly, let's push our club shaft forward. Third, let's take our grip when that club shaft is forward, so we strengthen our grip a little bit. And 4, abbreviated swing. Short backswing, shorter follow through, and let's see if we can get some nice good connection and see how far our clubs travel and how high they go, because then we can start to figure out when we're on the golf course what club is going to be beneficial for us depending on how strong that wind is. So I hope that helps. I hope you enjoyed that. Please, any comments, I'd love you to leave them below. And as I mentioned at the start, I'd love to have you subscribe to our channel if you haven't already to keep up to date with everything. So just click on that button below, click like, and we'll see you for the next video. Thank you very much.